The bench, easy bar, spider curl. James has got a good joke about spider curls.
I've got arachnophobia, so I don't really want to do this exercise.
Is that it?
That's it.
That's not a good joke.
I thought that could have been quite... Hey guys, welcome to James's Workout Empire. Alright, so I've got this guy sitting next to me. I think if you've been following the fitness scene for the last few years and you've been anywhere near a computer, I probably don't even need to say what his name is. This is the legendary Shaun Stafford. Thanks for coming on, Shaun.
Thanks mate, thanks for having me.
Pleased to say that Shaun's a personal friend of mine as well as an ex-competitor. He's somewhat of a mentor, and so we've got a sort of a multi-pronged relationship. Nothing dodgy though.
Don't say that when you're wearing these tights.
So just wanted to get Shaun onto the show as a special guest, and I think that's an understatement really, and ask him a few questions, find out what makes him tick, and find out a bit more about the stuff behind the scenes. So, first question, Shaun. This is probably a personal question from me to you. You've managed to achieve a lifetime's worth of stuff in the last 4 or 5 years with your fitness career. Probably not many people in the UK have done as much as you've done. So you've gone from being a high-level coach, educated to a pretty high standard with like Poliquin training systems. Got a good reputation as a PT, and obviously like had a living as a personal trainer. And you've gone on. You've come and started competing with WBFF. You've won a couple of world titles. You've had some good sponsorship deals along with your current one, and also you have opened and successfully run your own gym in central London, ladies and gentlemen. That deserves a round of applause in itself. And you've recently become a dad, and obviously you're a married man as well. So that's an incredible amount of stuff for one person to have done, and you're barely 30, certainly younger than me anyway. So, well, the question is, what is next for Shaun Stafford?
You know what? As in, when you run through the crib sheet like that, it does actually seem like quite a lot, but if I'm completely honest with you guys, it's just kind of, it's been one of those things where you just roll with it. You take it all in your stride. As in, I never set out sort of 5-6 years ago to, compete as a pro, to, run shows in the UK, to, have endorsement deals. It was just kind of one of those things where I loved what I was doing, I was passionate about what I was doing, and I wanted to be the best at what I was doing, so I just put my head down and worked through it. And then all kind of the cool things that come with it, like you say, the endorsements, the ability to travel, the ability to compete, and meet people like yourself, that's kind of like almost like a byproduct of sort of just hard work, graft, and then sort of working your way to the front of the queue. So I was going to say, in terms of what's next for me, I've just had a shoulder reconstruction, so probably the main thing for me would be to rehab that to a point where I can actually train properly again. I can actually train without the handbrake, kind of my hand teetering over the handbrake.
And just to interrupt, we're going to see Shaun actually training live in the next section. We're going to hit the gym shortly, so hopefully you're ready for that.
Just a little bit of biceps maybe. I can just about do biceps.
I think he's quite good at doing biceps.
I'm alright.
Alright.
So what's next for me? It would be get my body to a place where I can train without the handbrake on, to sort of maintain kind of my lifestyle at the moment. I'm really enjoying. I've just had a kid, 5 months ago, so spend some time with him, spend some time with my wife, sort of take care of that responsibility as well as keeping the gym ticking over, and then just kind of enjoy kind of the fruits of the last sort of 5 years whilst still trying to keep myself at the front of the queue. So.
Okay, so just going to move on to a couple of questions that the general public, so to speak, have put forward that they wanted me to ask you. With no prior preparation at all. I've got my live Facebook feed here. I've got a couple of different slanted questions. Arta has asked you, this is Arta Abley, Shaun, how difficult it is to be a dad and do the fitness stuff at the same time. How would you handle this? I can't answer that already, but maybe you could summarise again.
I'll tell you what, as long as you're organised and everybody thinks that they need 8 hours sleep, trust me, you really don't. I think I've been operating on about 5 hours sleep for the last 5 and a bit months. And to be honest, I'm not in peak physical condition, but you know what, I still feel great. And it's one of those things where your priorities definitely do change, as in your family is much more important. But if you can still have the time in your day to eat properly, train hard, and sort of do what you got to do on the fitness side of stuff, it takes care of itself. As in, you don't have to be so consumed by it that nothing else matters, and you can actually be a bit more balanced in your approach to it.
I think one thing I say to people that ask me about that sort of thing is say, if you can run at an 8 out of 10, 24/7, 12 months a year, that's better than trying 10 out of 10, 3 days a week and then falling off the wagon.
100%.
Yeah. All right, cool. So the final question, this is from Lucy Hooper. Lucy has asked you a very long question, but I think you're going to know the answer to this.
Okay.
Sean, do you think secondary school classes should have scheduled weekly classes about the importance of fitness and nutrition to try and reduce the percentage of childhood obesity within the UK? And she doesn't just mean your bog standard PE lessons, she means actually educating children on the right foods as well as why exercise is important. What do you say to that?
You know what, I don't think that would hurt. I don't necessarily think that it's, I don't think it would necessarily have to be a weekly thing, and I think a lot of the responsibility when it comes to education needs to be with the parents, not with the system.
Yeah.
As in, if you're taking responsibility for your own children, you know, you're packing their lunches, you're making sure they're being active, you know, and then whatever they get at school is a bonus, that's kind of taking responsibility for what you've got to take responsibility of, and not almost palming it off on the education system. So, whereas I don't think a more holistic and sort of educated approach to health and fitness in schools is a bad idea. I think the buck really has to stop with the parents and, you know, how they're having a positive impact on their kids' lives.
Yeah, I agree.
In my opinion.
Cool. Well, there you go, Lucy. Hope that answers your question. And then I'm going to finish off with two slightly shorter and more light-hearted ones.
Okay.
First question is 2 in 1. I want you to tell me...
Head and shoulders.
Yeah. Tell me one really positive thing about the fitness industry at the moment and one thing you think is a bit of a negative thing about the fitness industry at the moment.
Positive thing is everybody at the moment is really pumped. Everyone wants to get in shape, which is good. Everyone's focused. There seems to be a lot of young kids coming through that are really trying to stomp their ground. I get countless emails every day. People are just hungry for information, loving their training, loving their dieting. So it's really good to see kind of the next generation of people coming through. That's really exciting. So from the negative point of view, to be honest, I try to remove myself from that side of the industry. I try not to get involved. It's not really my style, but I'd say if I was going to say something that probably I'd like to not see so much of, it would be the negativity on social media. I think people use that as a forum to kind of air their dirty laundry and snipe at each other. And I'm one of a believer is if we can help elevate people and lift everybody up, we're all going to be stronger. So even if somebody does something that you disagree with, there's a million ways to skin a cat and everybody has their own opinion. So just leave them to it and focus on what you're doing and, you know, just have fun with what you're doing, really.
Together, yeah, cool.
100%.
All right, so last question. You've never been asked this ever before. What is your favourite cheat meal food?
Oh, cheat meals. To be honest,
Have you ever cheated?
I'm not a massive cheat meal person, as in, don't get me wrong, as in, I do like all food. I love Mexican. But I was going to say, if there was one thing that I could probably eat every day, it'd probably be ice cream. I love an ice cream sundae, so things like brownies and chocolate and ice crean. So yeah, I'd say that would be my favourite cheat meal.
All right, cool. So what are you doing on Sunday? Because I've got a few hours free if you want to do some ice cream eating.
I was wondering what I was going to say then, in those tights.
Hey Sean, thanks for coming on. And
Buddy,
we're going to take you into the gym shortly and see if we can get these guns pumped up a bit.
Cheers. Thanks for having me, guys.